All right, so right now we're gonna do some. So we're live. So and I'm just gonna check your camera. Let me
Which
see
was my camera?
this one right here. Yep, you're looking pretty good. All right, perfect. Okay, check this one. Excellent. Looking. Actually, the lighting is better this time. Okay, so this one's a little overexposed. Maybe I can pull that down a little bit. That's a little bit better. Okay, how are they?
Yes, sir.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to all and no one that's watching.
No one.
I want to welcome you today. We're going to talk a little bit about current events and want to get my thoughts out and get some thoughts from my friend Mo, who has spent some time in Beirut, and who is of Lebanese descent.
Yes.
This is quite a crazy thing that happened. Was it yesterday?
Yesterday, yes.
Okay, and so
We
I
got we got to stop meeting when these tragic events, man.
that's true. The last
Yeah.
time we talked was Kobe.
Yes. Always something tragic. 2020, you're great.
Yeah, it's been. We were just talking outside about how how bad this. Give me those keys right there. You're gonna.
Throw them at you.
Yeah. How weird 2020 has been. Um, I was telling him outside that I expected this year to be awesome.
Like everybody else.
Yeah.
I
So
think
everybody else thought the same
yeah,
thing. Like,
everybody was excited. It's 2020. It's some change is gonna happen, and yeah, some change happened.
yeah,
All right, but crazy year.
yeah. So far we got okay. So the beginning of the year, we the main thing that happened when it. So Epstein died last year.
I think that was last year. Yeah,
Okay. So
and
he died.
but did he really die?
I don't know. I don't think he. I don't. I mean, how could he die? I don't even think. I don't even think Osama bin Laden died.
Yep. Just like Elvis never died, right?
Well, no, not like that. That's a little different.
Or
But
Tupac didn't die.
the thing about Elvis is there. I'm pretty sure there was a body to be seen.
Yeah.
Whereas
It's
Osama
just
bin Laden, it was
yeah.
they
There was no
killed.
proof.
They went into his supposed apartment. With this I don't military group
Yeah.
killed him, took the body out, and
Yeah.
dumped it in
I
the
mean,
ocean.
like when
That's
they
ridiculous.
when they captured Saddam Hussein in a hole.
Hmm.
Oh, they made sure that they made it known, right? And they brought him back, and they
Exactly.
put him on the stand and
Yeah.
humiliated him as much they could
Yeah.
for you know. But Osama bin Laden, why wouldn't you do the same?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
There's a
It's
lot.
very.
There's a lot behind that,
Yeah.
because if he were to really talk freely, like Saddam Hussein did, I think that it might have hurt the U.S. But that's another issue.
Yeah. That's true.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, everyone knows that.
Bring that mic to
Everyone
you.
everyone knows that.
Yeah.
He
So
was
like
trained
perfect. Yeah.
by the CIA, right?
Right. Yeah. And he was funded.
Yeah. So that'll go a long way.
Yeah.
So it might they might have captured him, and there's a reason why they never showed anything. But they could have showed a body,
Right.
something.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They didn't show a body. They claimed to have wrapped his body in, I don't know, cloth and then dumped him in the ocean. Come on,
Yeah.
man. That's so ridiculous.
Why? Why wouldn't you do the same with Saddam Hussein?
All right. That's a
You
good
know,
point.
Saddam Hussein, I think, has done a lot more evil to his own country than others. I think
Right.
personally, because I have met a lot of Iraqis that say the same. But I mean, I don't think it was yes, what he did was tragic and it was horrifying. But again, it's gonna go again. Did he really do it? Are they trying?
Right.
There we go with the conspiracies. You know.
Well, I mean, the thing is it's you can call it a conspiracy, but the issue is I think, well, first of all, as a business owner, you deal with employees, right?
Mhm.
And you deal with customers. And in dealing with employees and customers, you have you have to deal with probability and logic.
Yes.
And not everybody has to deal with that on a regular basis as much as you do as a business owner.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that there aren't other jobs outside of being business owners that, but think
Yeah.
about how often you have to deal with that. Like, you have to make decisions based on probability
That's
and
so funny that you said decisions because I was right about to tell you that I was just speaking with my wife and my family last night, saying that you, as a business owner, and
uh-huh.
actually as a man in general, decision making is like huge.
Right.
You got to make a decision for every single thing. The reason we were talking about that is because, we got a new home and we're remodeling a little bit. And she's like, "Do you want me to do like this doorknob in black, or like you want it like the matte black where like it's a little not as shiny?" I'm like, "Just make the decision, man. I
Right.
have enough decisions that I
Yeah.
make throughout the day, very like drastic decisions that I need to, and it wears
Yeah.
it has a toll on you after a while as a man.
Yeah.
As a man, because women, I mean,
Well,
generally,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
generally, it's like I want this and I want it this way and I want it this time.
Right.
It's on the man to kind of not saying oh they have to do it, but usually happy wife, happy life type of thing.
Yeah.
You want to make sure they're happy, so the man has to go around and find out how to get that done at
Right.
this time in this way. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So they just want something done. They don't care how it's done, but it's on the man to actually make the decisions, the big decisions, to actually be like, okay, we got to do it this way. We can't do it that way because that's not going to work because of this.
Mhm.
But they just kind of accept, okay, I want this. Let's get it done.
I
So it's a lot of decision making and process and
Yeah, I think I mean you're getting if we had a if we had an audience right now, you'd have some women yelling at you. But I
yeah,
think it has to do with
yeah.
less
I'm not
about
generalizing. I don't
yeah.
want to say it's like that everywhere or
Mhm.
within every situation, but most situations where the male
I get
is
it. Yeah, yeah. I understand what you're saying.
yeah,
I what I'm saying is it's okay. So that's a good point. So in most decision makings, most situations, decision making happens from the male perspective because a guy is
that is if they're the primary
right.
breadwinner.
In your situation, you are
Yeah,
because
and
your wife
yeah, in
is a
most
homemaker.
situations that's how it is.
Yeah,
Most,
that's
I'm
true.
not saying all, but
Yeah,
most situations that's just generally how it is.
yeah. And ultimately, what happens is going back to the business owner thing is there's this thing called decision quality. Oh, about to have a big problem. Oh, there it is. Um, almost ran the computer almost ran out of juice. Um, there's this thing called decision quality where the more decisions you make throughout the day, the lower quality decisions. The how do you say the lower the the better your decision making. Your decision making is better at the beginning, and it
Yeah, because towards the
diminishes
end
over
you're kind
time.
of like,
Right.
I'm not going to put that much thought into it. I'm just tired, whatever. Is this what you want to do? Do it.
Yeah,
You
and you
know,
don't. Yeah, that's exactly. So you don't even want to use that as the decision because you got to probably make another 100 decisions later that day.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's so funny that you brought that up right now. I was just talking about that yesterday. It's funny.
yeah.
Yeah. Because
Well,
one of my employees called me and he's like, "Oh, there's a lady that wants a return. Just make the decision, man.
right.
You know what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you if she has a receipt, go ahead and do it. If you know what I'm gonna tell
Yeah,
you. Just make the decision. It's about those, like you said, those small decisions you want other people to make for you because you make enough decisions. That's funny. I never actually knew that,
yeah,
but it makes sense.
yeah. It's interesting that intuitively you recognize that you you're like, I don't want to make those decisions.
Yeah,
You, the cashier, you take over that decision.
yeah,
Wife, you take over that
yeah.
decision because later today I'm gonna have to make a decision that may
That is,
cost
yeah, that
money.
is very accurate.
Yeah,
Yes, it's
yeah,
very accurate.
yeah,
Yeah, and I never heard of that before. Like before you saying that,
yeah,
that throughout the day, you pretty much what you're saying is you put less time and effort into making that decision. You just kind of like, sure,
yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
makes total sense.
and it's not my idea. That's a scientific fact. So
Hmm.
that's how we are built as humans. I'm
Yeah,
gonna keep adjusting cameras and stuff, but
yeah,
so we were talking about Saddam Hussein, right, and whether or not it's a conspiracy. And the thing is like I was saying to you outside.
Osama bin Laden. You mean?
Yeah, what yeah. So I said Usama. So we were talking about Saddam Hussein
Yeah.
plus Osama bin Laden,
Uh-huh.
right? And so both of those guys were funded at some point by
At
the
some point,
U.S.
yeah,
And
for their agenda,
right,
not
well,
just funded to help.
yeah, they weren't funded to help.
Yeah,
The U.S. didn't go and say, "Oh, let me give you some money so you can."
yeah, yeah. Which is fine.
Yeah,
You know, they took it right. They took the help.
yeah. I mean, the way you could look at that would be, in some cases, if you don't take the help,
Yeah,
then they help you disappear
yeah, yeah,
before. So you don't really have an option.
yeah.
It's like I'll do my best to try to stay out of harm's way.
Hmm.
What I don't understand, and this is a big question for me, is when you're in that position where you are either one of those guys, but let's just stick with for the for the sake of recognizing a person in power in Saddam Hussein is after you've been president of a country and after you have done, I mean, if you think about being president of a country, you can pretty much do whatever you want to do, right?
Yeah,
Any idea that you have as a
yeah.
guy, like you want to have a beautiful yacht and have 35 beautiful women on the yacht, it's done as a
You can.
president, right?
Why? Why did you do it? Because I can.
Right.
Uh,
Or if you want to have a stable of sports cars or whatever, right? So he
mhm.
did all of those things, I think. So when the US comes and they say, "Okay, buddy, here's the thing."
This is what's gonna happen.
Right. You've had 40 years of support from us
Yeah, yeah,
and this is what we want.
yeah,
So why not say, okay, if you don't want to do that, why not say, you know what? What I'll do is I'll put somebody in position that you want, and I'm gonna go live on the French Riviera
yeah,
with $500 million
yeah.
that I stored up in unmarked accounts.
Do you know why?
Why?
Do you know why he wouldn't do that?
Why wouldn't he do it?
Power, power, man, power. When you get to a certain amount of money in your bank,
Uh huh.
in your bankroll,
Yeah.
it's not about money anymore. It's about power. Gaddafi. Same
Right.
thing with Gaddafi. You could have bought your own island, several islands, go live the rest of your life, you and your family. But no, he just didn't want to give up that power.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
about the seat. It's about power.
Yeah. I wonder about
You
that
know,
though. The thing.
Donald Trump,
Uh huh.
power. How much money does he have?
He's got a lot.
He's got a shitload of money. I mean, but I mean, again, that is my opinion, right?
Right.
That is my opinion. It just
That he has
comes.
the money, or
No, no. We know he has the money, but
Okay.
when you get to that level, it's not about money anymore. It's about power. It's about what you can do. Oh, this guy has that. Oh, I need to have more than him, you know, in power, not really in money. That
Yeah,
makes sense?
I don't really have that.
No?
No, it's. I mean, I get what you're saying, and I do recognize that there are definitely.
Again, not for everybody, you know, but when you get to that level, and we're talking about really, really high up there, like I don't think uh, Bill Gates was getting up there, right? But he's not the type. He's not that type, that political type, to kind of like, I want power. You know what I mean? Not everybody with money is like that. But when you get into politics and you get into, I'm the world leader,
Right.
I'm a world leader, it's power, Even Obama, I gotta
Yeah.
say, which I love Obama, but I feel he never got to that where I want to push you, even though I could
Uh huh.
push you against the wall just because
Right.
I can, like other presidents have done in the past,
Right.
whether Democrat, Republican, whatever. You understand what I'm saying? But there's certain ego starts playing. I think like Saddam Hussein, dude. If 30 years ago you were to tell me that Saddam Hussein was going to get dragged out of a freaking hole and brought in front of the U.S. for like that court
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
the whole judgment they did on him,
Yeah.
I would have said you're out of your goddamn mind.
Yeah.
There's no way that you would have said that Saddam Hussein, dude. When you say Saddam Hussein, people are shaking their boots. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, even the U.S. after funded. You know what I'm saying? It's like crazy how that happened. Crazy,
It is
but
weird.
same thing. And I didn't read too much into it, but just from what I know and what I've heard, and I have friends that are, dude, he could have easily left, like you said, abandoned, left everything, and just kind of lived a brand new world. Just left everything. You had enough, dude. You know how much money he had, man. They were like carrying out boxes and boxes of
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
gold. But
Well, that
I
power thing is stupid. I agree with you, but that's just plain dumb, especially once you get to a point where you're, 65, 75 years
yeah,
old.
but
I don't know how
see,
old he was.
exactly, to you and me, it's stupid
Yeah.
because to us, if we had a couple million in the bank, we'd probably retire.
Yeah. Maybe.
But
I wouldn't retire a couple million, but I get
well,
what you're saying. There's a number for it.
there's a
For
number,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but 5 million is my number.
Okay.
Okay,
You're
just
like,
for the record, you
just
know. But for them, dude, when you start talking in the billions, I mean, a billion is like 1,000 million.
yeah. 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 Yeah.
1,000. Like, do you ever like,
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
when people say, "Oh, $1 billion," you're like, dude, a billion is 1,000 million.
Yeah.
Zzz.
Yeah.
You know, let's say you spend 200 million, which is going to be hard to do on even houses and cars, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you're going to buy more than 3, 4 houses of 20, 30 million each. You still have 800 million. What do you do with all that money? So it's different when if it's a random person that has that just hit the lotto of $1 billion, than a political person where it's like, is why did he want to become president in the first place? Sure as hell isn't to help the people.
Right. Eh,
You have a small percentage, maybe,
I think a lot of people start off like that.
yeah, but
Apparently.
when it gets to a point where you start tasting that power and
Yeah.
everyone's kind of like, waiting to see what you're going to do next, what you're going to say, yeah, it must feed off your ego.
Hmm.
Like, dude, this whole world is stopped right now on my decision. Should I drop the pen or not? And I'm going to make it happen. It's
Yeah.
power right there.
I mean, there's obviously there's levels to power, and I mean, in the position that you're in, as a business owner, as the runner of an environment, you recognize there is a certain level of power that you have, even within your little microcosm, right? And you
Yeah.
you can see people in positions that are in stores that are smaller than yours and stores that are bigger than yours, and any kind of store that have, let's say, what do they call it? They let the power get to them no matter what the
Yeah,
situation is
they
in.
just power trip.
But yeah, you can feel that. So I just wonder, like, what's the point of getting to that place? I don't think that that makes any sense to do that. Like, it just doesn't. I mean, what do
Yeah,
you benefit from it? I guess it's maybe it's like an addictive thing.
yeah. I think it has to be, and I'm not saying this 100%, but I mean, if you think about it, like, and I always use Gaddafi because that's like the perfect example. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that they had given him a choice. They had
Yeah,
given
but
him a
there's a whole
choice
other
to
story
step
to that.
down. Yeah,
I'll let you finish your point, and then I'll tell
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Go ahead.
But uh, you know, most people in power like that, it comes to the point where they do have a choice. They do have a choice to just leave this world behind and just go do their own thing with all their money, because there's a lot of money that no one knows that they have.
Right.
You know, I'm sure they don't declare everything. They don't have everything in their safe at their house or the bank. You know, but I believe it just becomes a power type of trip where, or just denial at the end. Where like, dude, I was here and now I'm gonna be here. You know?
Yeah, but I just feel like if you're sitting in that position where you don't have to worry about where your next meal is coming from. You don't have to worry about keeping electricity on. You don't have to worry about where your clothing is coming from.
That's not even a fact. Like
That's what I'm
for
saying.
us,
Yeah.
we think about these things. For them, that's not like they don't even know that they're actually. When you get to that, I don't think they even know that they have to pay electricity. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's just done. You
Right.
know,
Yeah,
no
that's
matter
true.
how it's done, it's just done. You think they think about, oh shit. I know you think about the Edison every month.
Of
You
course.
know, you
Yeah.
think about your mortgage every
Yeah.
month. I think about, oh shit, it's the end of the month again. You
Yeah.
know, here goes the bill. Dude, we plan our months
Yeah. Yeah. Based on that.
based on that. Where like, okay, well,
Keep
rent
talking.
rent is due, you know, at this day, and then Edison is due this day, and my insurance is due this day. I got to have a certain amount of money in the bank for. They don't even think about that, dude. They have like someone hired to make sure that
Well, this is royalty
a
that we're talking
person
about.
underneath them, not even that person hired, a person underneath them, make sure that the person underneath them pays, you know,
Right. Yeah. It's
and
like
that's their job. It's like,
it's like the royalty that has never had any money in their pocket.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like the one of the kings or the princes of England.
yeah,
They asked him to pay for something, and he was like, I've never had money in my pocket.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know, I've
yeah,
never even what does it look like?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah. It's
Yeah, I
exactly
guess
that.
so. It's so weird.
It's
Um,
just crazy. And then again, and I always have the same theory. Every single person is different. Like you think differently than I do. And if you were to have a lot more money than you do right now, or I had a lot more money than I do, I might turn into a different person. I don't think I will, but you just never know. You know, I've had friends that have been, you know, in the middle class and have
right.
jumped up to certain levels
And they
where,
change.
of course,
Hmm.
which I never thought that they would change,
Right.
you know. And I've had friends that jumped up two levels above that and are
Did
cooler than when they were dead ass broke, you know.
right.
It
Yeah.
just really depends. You know, it has to do with your character, I guess.
That's true. I
You
mean,
know,
that's the main thing.
'cause you can't just generalize every single leader in the world in the same way. Also, and you know,
So let me
tyrant. Yeah, it becomes, you know, it goes from a leader, a president, to a leader, to a tyrant, to, you know,
yeah.
it's like different levels to this shit.
Yeah.
You know,
So what do you think, like do you have any, like, from your friends, the ones that changed and the ones that didn't change? Can you give any characteristics or background information, not specifics, but, like, for instance, the ones that didn't change, had they gone through any real adversity, or do they have kind of some foundational characteristics that would keep them grounded, whereas the ones that did change um do?
I'd rather not say.
Okay. All right.
I'd rather not talk about
Okay.
that.
Okay. So the reason why I said that is because I feel like, for me, I have noticed that people change when they don't. Okay, it's like this. You've ever been you've ever experienced a man or a woman who has married somebody who has money
Hmm.
and they treat people that don't have money or people that are the help poorly.
Yes.
So I feel like the people that have gone through adversity and knows what it feels like to be, let's say, in that lower tier of
They have
wealth.
more sympathy, you mean?
Not sympathy. The actual word would probably be empathy, right?
Empathy, yes.
Yeah. So yes. So I think if you can well empathize with the other side, if you've been in that position, like if you are a multimillionaire now, but you were a waiter at one point,
Yeah.
or you were a garbage
Yeah.
person, or used to be a janitor, or you worked at McDonald's, or
Are you saying that's the case, that you feel that if they were in that situation and now they're not in that situation, that they'll have empathy?
I think so. Yeah.
Everybody.
No. Well, everybody is. That's an absolute, and I don't
You
believe in
know,
absolutes.
which changes like everything, you know,
I mean, it
because
does
that
change. That
exact
changed.
situation that you're talking about,
Yeah.
right? I've seen with my family members,
Okay.
and it was the exact opposite. They forgot where they came from.
Hmm.
You know, they forgot that at one point, you know, they were putting their hands out, you know,
Right.
and saying, "Oh,
Right.
you know,"
Okay.
but now they have everything, and they kind of like, dude, why are you doing it that way? Did you forget? You know,
Right.
did you
Right.
forget that each one has his own circumstances where I can't do it right now financially? I can't do it. You know,
Hmm.
just because you like stepped over that stage and you're at the point where you can do anything in your life doesn't mean that, you know,
Yeah, I get what you're
everyone can do
saying.
it.
I think also
That's what I'm saying.
it may,
It's
I
each
mean
person.
that's
It's
still
each
an I
person.
guess I'm still speaking in absolutes, but I think ultimately what I'm getting at is you have to go through like a personal transformation no matter what position you're in. You know what I mean? So if you're in the position where you don't have anything and you're having difficulty making it, if you have reconciled with that position and understand that that position doesn't make you who you are, like you almost like recreate yourself despite um, the position that you're in, and
Mhm.
then you obtain wealth after that, then you can always remember that that foundational position that you're in
You're
um,
blessed.
is what.
That you're blessed.
Yeah, like you know, okay, this wealth doesn't make me.
Yeah.
What makes me is who I was, that who I created prior to this, and I always have to remember to go back to that, which is
Yes.
one of the reasons why religion is good for people.
Hmm.
um Unfortunately it gets twisted by organizations, but so maybe
It keeps you humble.
yeah, because ultimately you're not walking around like you're the god.
Yeah.
You always remember that
Yeah.
there is
Yeah.
a god.
Yeah.
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 So the thing I was going to say about Gaddafi was that Gaddafi was trying to start an African currency.
Yeah. I think we
And
spoke about that the other day.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of people don't know that, and that's why uh, certain powers that be got involved and took him out, because he was communicating with other nations, other African nations, and
Yeah.
then they were trying to put together, and he had the ability to do it
Hmm.
because obviously there was wealth in his land, there was wealth in, let's say, Nigeria
Because
and
he
the
was
Congo.
ching chinging.
Yeah.
Uh,
So now what happens is people, even in the countries that these people are from, are subjected to propaganda, and we have to sift through that propaganda.
obey.
Obey the company.
Obey propaganda.
Is that the company?
Yeah.
I don't that's too young for me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but I know Obey.
Yeah.
Do you know who that, that sticker, you know who that is?
Who?
You know the sticker with the
Yeah.
face, you know who that is?
Who?
You don't know who it
No,
is?
I don't.
Andre the Giant. You know who that is?
Like the wrestler?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
That's his face
Oh,
on that the
yeah.
Obey
That's probably
logo.
where. Yeah. Oh, okay. Does he used to say that or what?
No, they just for whatever reason used his face as the
Really? I didn't know that.
yeah
Yeah.
um Obey propaganda. That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, uh now the thing is, hopefully other people listen to this and they go and check and see if Gaddafi was actually trying to put together an African
Yeah, but what
currency.
we were talking about, Derek, is
Mm.
did he reach a point where he could have kind of looked back, left everything behind, and took his money and left? He knew he was gonna die.
Well,
He had gotten the threats. He had gotten all the all
yeah,
the smoke signals.
right.
Couldn't he just got up and left? They would have chased him.
What if he thought that the people that he had spoken to about the currency were going to have his back?
Yeah, and then just leave and come back.
No, like what so for instance, let's say if he spoke to Nigeria,
Uh-huh.
let's say he spoke to I don't know what free countries there are, like what countries in Africa are led by let's say black leaders, which I should know.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of sad that I don't know that, but let's say there were 10
Yeah.
other nations that said, okay, we want to do the currency with you, right? Maybe he thought that they were going to come to his rescue. Maybe they were going to form a coalition and send
Because there were other people that were
yeah,
there were people, yeah.
yeah. So
Oh, yeah,
maybe
that goes into a different direction now. Yeah, like a thinking where
well, because I actually so the
they
I
were just they were just scared that whatever was happening to Gaddafi,
that's the
they were
thing.
going to drop him one by one by one.
That's the thing. And you got to have and I don't know. Well, the same thing happened with Saddam.
Yeah. Dude, his strength is in numbers, man. Like if they were to all stick together, really stuck together, God
Yeah.
knows, maybe
But that's why they took Saddam out too.
But who killed Gaddafi?
Can you hear me? I can't say it loud. People have died for saying for saying they're responsible. So
Oh, okay.
I don't have any protection.
Yeah, yeah, that's the reason why I asked you. Oh yeah, yeah, dude. It's a crazy situation, man. It's just like, and yeah, we're gonna start going into a different direction now. The direction that I don't usually like going down.
What
But
direction is that?
no, I mean, like I said the other day, I'm a proud American.
Yeah.
I'm pro America.
America.
I'm America. I got my America flag right
America.
here all the time. And but sometimes, the American people and the American government is a little bit different. You can't classify them in the same boat because I have a lot of family that comes to the US and that live in Africa
Okay.
or Lebanon, and they're just like, oh, Americans are this and Americans are that. And
Right.
yeah, they're
Yeah, yeah,
selfish
yeah.
and and they come over here and the American people, you guys know the American people is like they're the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they see you, they know from you're from a different again, most of them,
Right.
right? You got those other extremists, but most of them, oh, you're from here. Oh, that's so cool. Da, 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 da. I've
Yeah.
always wanted to visit. Oh, how do you like the everyone is friendly. Do you walk into a supermarket here, people open doors for you.
Yeah.
You go to France, that's sure as hell is not gonna happen. You know?
Yeah.
People in general, the American people are nice.
Right.
They're good people. The government, and when you get into politics, it's something different, but they just relate all of them together.
Right.
They see for them Trump, they see Trump and then they see them as the American people. That's
Right.
the American.
Mm.
So they don't they don't differentiate between the two. But sometimes when the American government gets, like with the whole Saddam Hussein thing, like we always want to be the heroes, man. Like the American government. We're always the heroes of everything. Even if we're going in to pull some shady shit into a country that we have no right to be in, or there's no reason to be there, we're we're gonna go in there because we're gonna benefit. right?
Okay. So that's
We're going
different.
somewhere to get,
That that
let's say like
that's not being a hero, but
patrol.
okay.
No, wait, patrol. That's
Okay.
what, like
So the
for
portrayal of the hero.
portrayal of a hero.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but so we're gonna go in, right?
Hmm.
We see a bunch of. I'm just gonna say gas. Let's say natural
Okay.
gas. I'm just
Okay.
throwing that out there,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, we want that gas.
Uh,
However, look at the government, man. Look at their leaders.
they
They're not
freaking
treating them
suck.
right, man. They're
Yeah.
not treating their people right. You know
Uh,
what? We're gonna go in there, and then we're just gonna save them from that tyranny. You know,
mm-hmm.
and then this guy, he's a tyrant, and
Mm.
he shouldn't lead his people like that. They deserve more than that. So we're gonna go in, and then we're gonna save these people from this.
Sounds like
On
a
our
good
way,
propaganda machine
yeah,
you got there.
on our way, we're gonna grab a little bit of that gas
Right.
that we so
Because we deserve it.
because we did, yeah.
It's for our effort. I
It's
mean,
for our
we
effort
freed the
to
people.
save the
We got to
people.
pay for the war.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 So so a lot of times it's like you go into somewhere and they just that's like I said, I'm so very pro America. I'm proud to be
Hmm.
American. But a lot of times the government, and which as they should, every country looks for their own good,
Hmm.
right? Everyone's it's like it's not what they say, all for one and one for all. What is it? One for all or all for one or whatever.
Hmm.
It's to each his own, dude. That's what it
Okay.
is. Everyone's gonna go into like a certain situation seeing what their advantage is. It's just like a business. I'm not gonna go into something where I'm risking my whole bankroll and risking my life and my health and you know uh just to save someone.
Yeah.
you know I have to have some kind of benefit in doing it.
Yeah. Well, yes, I
which
agree.
is
I
which is
agree with you. I mean, it's the problem with that is you're opening up a whole can of worms of selfishness and personal benefit, and that is that in itself is a big problem. And I don't. I mean, there's some
do you
philosophers that believe that things are what they are, and you just should let them be. Like if America wants to run around the world and take over things,
save
then
everybody?
they're not. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
they're
because yesterday, going back to the Lebanon thing that
okay.
happened yesterday,
Yeah.
right? It just kind of looped
Yeah.
itself back to that. But I was watching a Trump speech saying, we're very sad at what's going on in Lebanon, and
Right.
he said, I don't know what happened, but my generals have more experience in this, and then it looks like it was done. It was like it didn't just explode by itself with humidity or any. It wasn't an accident, pretty much,
Right.
is what he was saying. He's saying it was done by someone,
Yeah.
you know. And then he was saying it's very tragic, and we feel with the people, and we're mourning with you. He was being that politically correct type of thing. On the same, like,
Uh, I'm listening.
it like on the other hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
A couple years ago, well, like maybe a lot, maybe 10 years ago, you know, Israel attacks Lebanon,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a little different situation. But who's behind Israel? Who's
I don't.
funding Israel?
I don't know who's funding Israel.
Okay,
Who?
you know, the U.S.
Oh.
Right?
Okay. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, I know. I know you didn't know that,
Yeah.
Derek.
You didn't know that either.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
just
yeah. I'm just guessing,
you just
right?
read that in an
Yeah.
article. Yeah.
So it's like, don't try to show like, oh, you're sympathizing with the people.
Oh. Okay. Uh huh.
But it's just politics, man. You know, it is
Yeah.
what it is. It's
Yeah.
politics. You're just showing, oh, I'm a human being and I feel too.
Right.
However, if you guys come knocking on our door, that we got our shit ready. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's politics. It is what it is.
Well,
But
I don't know. Well, what do you think about? Okay, so I read this article last night, and the reason why they said that this explosion happened. This is the reason for the that the Lebanon government gave was that there was, is it ammonium nitrate,
Ammonium nitrate. Yeah.
had been so thousands of pounds. This article doesn't show, but thousands of pounds of ammonium nitrate were sitting in a warehouse for over 6 years. But here's the key.
It was, yeah,
Here's the key right here. Unsecured.
unsecured. Yes.
That is a load of
Yeah, but
crocodoodle-doo.
yeah, but unsecured. And now the latest, you know, now we're gonna start with the conspiracy theories, right?
I mean, well,
Everyone's gonna start.
here's the
It's gonna
thing.
become a whole conspiracy theory.
Here's the thing for me. So I mean, you got to be so ammonium nitrate. I think that's, I hope that's the right word, because we could go on
Yeah,
saying
it is
that. So
ammonium
first of all,
nitrate.
let me just find the appropriate name before
While
we.
you find that, I'll tell you
Okay.
what's been told in the Lebanese news this morning.
Okay,
Right?
yeah, that's good.
So
Good to
pretty
know.
much like around 12 years ago or something like that, there was a shipment of ammonium nitrate going out of Beirut or coming in. I don't know. Someone thought that it was some kind of, you know, they were weapons or they were to make bombs or something like that. So it was stopped.
Okay.
It was stopped by I don't know who, and they didn't want to lose that because it's a lot of money. So they brought it closest to shore into a warehouse right next to the port, and it's been stored there since 12 years. It's been 12. It's been there for 12 years, right? Like you said. But now this morning they're saying that officials weren't aware of it, which is a bunch of bullshit
Yeah.
because they had just came a couple months ago and they had some signed documents saying that um, someone had came to inspect the place and they had told them that this is very dangerous.
Do they have documentation of this?
Yeah, they have documentation.
No, of the people that told them
Yes.
that.
Yes.
So they have that.
Yes.
They
Yes.
produced those documents.
Yes. Well, they say they have documentations now. That's that, you know, that can go both ways. But
Yeah.
you know, so what are the odds now that once someone found out that there's a bunch of explosive shit in a warehouse, unprotected, you know,
Yeah.
that this would happen all of a sudden? I mean, they say I was reading some stuff where they're saying with ammonium nitrate's kind of like um, with the humidity. It
Okay.
could go off with humidity. It could go off with a little too much heat. But dude, that explosion, man.
First of all, I'll just put my thoughts out there. Um, I don't believe uh I don't believe any of what they say in the media about it. Especially, I just looked through the top articles reporting on it, and obviously they're going to come up first on Google because they're the biggest publications, and they're also owned by the main people,
Yeah.
right? So you got CNN, you got the New York Times, the L.A. Times, the Wall Street Journal,
Mhm.
New York, the what do you call it, Washington Post, and all the other top news.
And what are they saying?
They're all saying that basically they're saying that
It was a mistake.
the blast was caused by 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate stored unsafely in a warehouse.
Okay, but how? How did it? Okay, it was stored unsafely, but how did it ignite?
Well, okay, so first of all, they can make up all kinds of
No, no, no.
reasons.
That's just already just that is just so stupid. Not the media. I'm saying for it to be there that amount
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be there in one location,
yeah.
especially in Lebanon, where it's known for like
Exactly.
you know
That is
crazy
my
shit
point.
popping
Yes.
off. It's like
Yes.
why would you
Yes.
even have that even
See, but see,
store them, dude? Store them in 3 different locations, man. You know.
well, here's
Well,
the
because
thing.
they said that they brought it up because it was the
Uh-huh.
closest, and then they just kind of left it there. They didn't get around of throwing it in the ocean or throwing they just didn't want to get rid of it because
Right.
it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And at the same time, if you watch, because I've seen videos of every single angle, right?
Okay.
Right, there was a first explosion, right, which everybody started videotaping. That's how they actually caught the big explosion on tape. When the first explosion happened, if you look closely, and there's some angles where you see it, uh, there's fireworks going
Yeah,
off,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
fire, like
Yeah.
like those things that you buy from the
Yeah, yeah, like a
kiosk,
Roman,
and it
like
just like pew
a
pew
Roman
like that.
candle. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were just going off all over the
Well,
place.
that was the first that was the first description that they gave. The reason why they gave.
Yeah.
They said it was fireworks.
Yeah.
Somebody calling you?
Yeah, it's fine.
So that was my first indication that this is a load of nonsense because
Where they're saying that the fireworks is what
They were saying the initial reports
Uh-huh.
were saying that this was a fireworks company that
Uh,
blew up.
okay.
And anybody with any kind, so let's say nobody asked any questions, we would have heard nothing else of this particular explosion.
Yeah, but dude, there was like, dude, the explosion was like insane. You know, there's a third biggest explosion after Hiroshima
I'm
and
sure it is. Well,
Nagasaki.
that's what I was saying with the
It gave out 1/5 of the seismic waves. 1/5, dude. And you know how big those explosions were.
yeah, I do. That's what I'm saying. It's like, oh,
Insane, dude. It was like a movie, dude. It's
I was just trying to play it over the
yeah,
but so just going back to the original reason, is that the right that they don't call it the original cause. They were saying that it was a fireworks company that blew up, and so everybody was so outraged at the idea that this was fireworks that they
yeah.
immediately
There
started.
might have been some fireworks in there. I don't doubt that because we saw fireworks going off.
Yeah,
But it's not like a fire. I don't think a firework would have, you know.
I'm playing it right now over the stream.
Yeah.
Um, there's a I mean, it's so crazy, and the concussion from the explosion. Next time we do this, I'll set up some kind of screen so you could watch
Yeah.
it as well. I'll probably put it over there, dude. That is craziness.
Does that look real? Like it
It
looks
doesn't even
unreal.
look right. Like I
It's like
keep playing it over and over. I wish you could see it. Well,
yeah,
oh, you can't see it on here.
it's on there,
Yeah.
dude. I've
Oh,
seen it.
I know.
It's and I don't
It's.
know which angle you have, but you know,
I got the angle from that building. It was
okay,
like a girl
yeah,
filming.
yeah. And then when it gets towards her, it's like,
Yeah, yeah. It's
and
so
it's so far,
it's so
dude.
far away, and she freaks her out so much that she thought she was gonna.
They heard like they heard the noise like 200 kilometers away.
That's crazy.
You know,
Yeah.
there was damage done up to 15 miles out from that explosion. That's like
Wow.
from here to Chino Hills, dude.
Yeah.
And I talk about damage, like building damage.
Yeah.
15 miles away. Like shit. I have a friend that I grew up with, and he just moved back to Lebanon. And we called him yesterday. We just kind of like, "What's up? What's going on? Hope you guys are well." He's like, "Dude, we got so lucky. We were out of the house, but they lost their house. Windows shattered, doors broken. It's like,
Oh
dude,
wow. So their house got destroyed, but they weren't there.
they weren't there.
Holy crap.
Luckily, they weren't
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
They're usually there around that time,
Yeah.
you know. But dude, it went out. Imagine like if they were to go off right here, 15 miles away, dude, they're here like almost in Downey.
Yeah. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
how
That's
crazy
crazy.
that is? Even though in the video you see where like you'd think, oh, maybe just the surrounding
Yeah.
areas got affected. But dude, miles, all my I have a lot of family in Lebanon.
Hmm.
All of them experienced at least glass shattering.
Some damage. Yeah.
And I'm talking about like maybe up to 20 miles, if not more.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so you're talking
Can you
about
imagine?
Chino
That's
Hills
crazy.
and Downey, but let's say an explosion went off right here. Like, how big of an explosion is it that you at Basha?
Oh, if they were here
Yeah,
and at Basha, dude, those places that were as close as Basha are like deteriorated,
they're
dude.
leveled.
They're leveled. Yeah, there's
See,
like, they're
that's
like the building is like
yeah,
if
yeah,
not
yeah,
completely down,
yeah,
which is nuts, man.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Now, if you remember Timothy McVeigh, I think it was his name. He was the guy who blew up that. I don't remember what building it was, but it was. Let's look it up. But he used the same.
Though when he tried to hit the one of the agencies,
Yeah, he used the same type of.
I think it was in Oklahoma, right?
I think it was. Yeah, that's funny. He's one of the top searches. Um, but he used ammonium nitrate, and it was a
Yeah,
pretty significant. I don't know. He only used a van full,
yeah.
and
Imagine
and
2,700 pounds. Is that what you said?
2,700 tons,
Oh, tons.
tons,
Wow.
and I think they measure tons the same way, which is 2,000 pounds a ton.
That's just stupid, man. I don't think anywhere in the world, right? Let alone Lebanon.
Yeah,
has
Oklahoma
that
City.
much of the same, like of that amount in one place.
Well, here's the thing.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so it's this is what we should have titled the video today. The title of the video should have been, um, what did we say?
Thoughts on Beirut?
No, the probability and logic and probability,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yes.
So you mentioned something that a lot of people in America don't know, and so what they don't know is that there is, Lebanon has been at, let's say, unrest for many many years.
Since the early 40s.
Okay, so the idea that that this country is constantly in conflict,
Why?
and you would have that amount of explosives in one
Why?
location
Why?
unsecured,
Yeah.
that doesn't make any sense. It's
No.
not logical. If you were the
It's
president, would you
stupid.
do that?
No. But
Right.
now this is why now the officials in Lebanon, and we're not going to talk about what the hell's been going on with Lebanon last 8 9 months, but
No, we should talk about it.
it's just heartbroken.
No, we should
Breaking.
talk
I
about it
mean, we
because
should
people
talk
should know.
about it, but it's like,
I mean, you could
this
give
is,
a brief
yeah,
synopsis.
dude. They've been, like you said, they've been at war since the 40s. It's been just hit after hit after hit after hit. Like they just do not get a break.
Right.
I was there in 2006. I was going. They count their main income is usually on tourists that come in the summer, and like Israel, there was a bonding between Israel and yeah, it's a big story. Anyways, it was not not a good situation where I had to come and get evacuated by the Marines since
Okay.
I was a U.S.
Right.
citizen. But just leaving the country, man, and like it was just like the flames that you see in that video. I was leaving a country which and I'm getting goosebumps again just speaking about that. It's just
Yeah.
like, for Lebanese people, man, we love our country so much.
Right.
You know, for me, it's like, not me, any Lebanese person that you meet is like super proud because Lebanon is like paradise on
Right.
earth. And, the late Anthony Bourdain
Yeah,
was
man.
actually with me in that hotel while we were waiting to get evacuated
During that
during
episode
that
that he had.
episode. Yeah, and
Yeah.
we were there together.
Wow.
And then he brought a lot of people to like Lebanon because of the couple he had done a couple
Right.
episodes there and stuff. It's just a different atmosphere, man. Like,
Yeah.
my wife's Lebanese. She's never been to Lebanon ever until she
Mm.
was like 25, which was a couple years ago. And she went and then she came back and she's traveled, throughout the world also. But she was like, man, it's the most beautiful country in the world. You
Wow.
don't understand. The people are so cool. The atmosphere.
And that's what Bourdain said when
Yeah,
he was
yeah.
there.
Everyone's
Yeah.
so cool. They're so like the hospitality, like forget about it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like it's insane. It's just a feel when you go there and you come back, like everyone knows. Like random people, Exhibit, the rapper
Yeah.
Exhibit,
Yeah. Yeah.
like he posted something yesterday about Lebanon, like he was just in shambles and then heartbroken because he used to hang out around there.
Okay.
Like
Right.
not if Lebanon was what people think of when you hear Beirut is all you think
Hmm.
is when I hear Beirut and I'm from Beirut, I think of bombs and war and Eminem always puts them in his rap songs like
Right.
you
Right.
know
Right.
I'm gonna make a bomb just like in Beirut or something. It's always when you hear Beirut, it has to be with bomb, war, something. But
Right.
people that actually go there and actually experience Beirut,
Hmm.
are like in love with it. Naomi Campbell posted a couple things yesterday. Like you think Beirut is like this like
I.
third world country, but dude, when you go there, this is why like every single Lebanese person right now is just like heartbroken, man. It's like
Yeah.
this country has gone.
Yeah. It's
I'm
constant.
emotional about it.
Yeah.
I really am, and this country has gone through so much, just over and over and over. It's like it does not catch a break, man. It does not. We
Yeah.
just got out of a revolution that just happened for the past 4 or 5 months. They're trying to overthrow the government, and banks are closed. You have
Mm.
money in the bank.
You can't get it out.
Personally,
Yeah.
we can't touch.
Yeah.
They're not giving out. People are not working. There's coronavirus that hit.
Mm.
You're already not working. There's no jobs. The banks are closed. You got to feed your family. You can't feed your family. You can't go to the bank and pull out $100 to feed your family.
Yeah.
Mind
That's
you, the $100 that you used to have, okay, because every dollar is 1,500 liras usually,
okay.
right?
Which is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how much it is now?
How much?
8,000 liras.
Oh wow.
A dollar is
Wow.
8,000 liras. So whoever was making $500 a month, which is already shit,
It's like $40.
yeah, you're making $50, $40 a month
Yeah.
now. If
Yeah.
you're working, if
60.
your
Yeah.
place is not closed because of coronavirus, the government is all corrupt. They're using all
Yeah.
the money. People want their money. They want to pull out their money out of. Imagine you having $10,000. That's your life savings.
Yeah.
$10,000,
Yeah.
and you thought that's quite a
You
good
thought you.
amount, right?
Yeah.
Well, your $10,000 right now is worth around $1,000, even if you could pull it out, but you
Right.
can't pull it out.
That's crazy.
You got a
So
million.
what are they doing? Like, how are they living?
Exactly. It's just sad, man. It's sad. It's
Yeah.
really sad. Places are closed, especially, and then this was before coronavirus.
Right.
This happened around October, November, where
Hmm.
this whole revolution thing started, and it was a huge deal. It was like everybody was out in the streets, no one was going to work, and
Hmm.
then coronavirus hit, and
Even
then
worse.
this, uh, people are not working. The banks, it's just a nightmare, man. It's a nightmare. I mean, I just pray for them, and I just hope that it's a situation that I don't think ever anyone's. I mean, I don't know what to say, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, we have not, and this is what crazy when I hear people here saying, "Oh, freedom, freedom," and I want my freedom not to wear a mask. Dude,
Right.
what the hell are you talking about, man?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
just wear the damn mask. I know you don't want to wear it. I know you don't believe in Corona. I know you don't. Just wear the mask. Don't get confrontational. People are on edge, anyways.
All
Wear
right.
your mask. Grab your gallon of milk and come out.
Because they
Get
don't
rid of
even
it.
know what it is to not have freedom for
Exactly.
real. Yeah.
It's like free. This is freedom to them,
Yeah.
dude. You have people that are not that are eating out of garbage cans, and I've seen footage.
Yeah.
Because they don't. They
And
and I'm talking
they're
about
people,
people that own homes.
right? People that actually
Yeah.
have worked for theirs, and
Yes.
they're still they're just
Imagine. I mean,
caught in
you're
a
not
bad
working.
situation.
You're not getting paid. The money that you did have as a spare or you can't pull out.
Yeah.
You're like I said, you're not working, so you're not getting any income in. What do you do? I mean, you count on your family members, okay, but yeah, but they're in the same situation too. I mean, eventually they're gonna get into a shortage.
How many people live in Lebanon?
It's crazy. There's, I
And
think,
and
if
then
I'm not mistaken, it's around 4.5 million in
and then
Lebanon.
so if you sent money back to Lebanon right
Mhm.
now, and they can't get money out of the bank, how do they get money? Can they get money? Is
They
there
can. You can send it through Western Union.
Okay, so you can get money through Western Union.
Yeah.
So basically, at this point,
However, your $100 that you're sending in is worth $10. You know, so you got to send $1,000 for them to give you $100. It's really
oh
fucked up, Derek. It's a fucked up situation. Sorry for the word.
no, it's okay. This is not for kids.
You know.
So we got some people from Brazil saying hello from Brazil,
Yeah.
and somebody named Bodster,
Yeah.
uh, who he's saying he didn't know that
Yeah.
about Lebanon. So you're teaching people.
Yeah, I mean, I just people to be aware. It's just, and especially in the United States now, we're just kind of too much. We get offended of every little thing, dude. We got it good, man. We
Yeah,
haven't made. We are freaking blessed.
right.
As much as you want to think we're blessed, man.
I
There's things
I
that are going on in the
I
world. We're
agree with
like,
that.
you know,
Yeah, I think that what I think the Americans, myself included, I think one of the reasons why America continues, although we're going down a similar road to all these countries, in that
every dog has his day, man.
yeah, so we have to be very careful, and I think that Americans can feel those freedoms slipping away,
Yeah,
and when you're used to having complete and total freedom,
yeah,
and all of a sudden a little bit of that has slipped away last year and the year before that and the year before that, and you're starting to feel like the walls are closing in a little bit more
hmm,
each year, and you're looking at your dollar's not going as far as it used to go, and um, uh, things are more expensive and people are a little more volatile, but certainly compared to everywhere else, it's a dream still.
it's a paradise,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
You're definitely living the dream here.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and that's from being in different, living in different parts of the world, in Africa, in Lebanon. Like, we got it good, man.
Yeah.
We
And
got
you
it good.
probably
It's
you
just a crazy thing
mm,
is you were asked, because you were asking the population of Lebanon. I
yeah.
mean,
Let's look
I
it
don't
up.
know the exact. I think it's
Let's look
around
it up.
5 million, 5 to 7 million, maybe.
Well,
I don't know exact. However, we have over 20 million Lebanese people outside of Lebanon.
oh, so it's like
Yes. And I guarantee you 90% of those 20 plus million Lebanese people that are outside of Lebanon would rather live in Lebanon if they had if
i-
they had the
if they could, like
if they could.
if the
Me being the first one of them, you
if it
know,
was like
if it was
safe.
stable enough,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, that's like the number one rule, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, but I'm telling you, 90%,
6.8.
6.8. Yeah.
Yeah,
So they're
6.8
saying
million.
around 7 million.
2008.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you were right.
Yeah. And
Um
then put immigrants or
I'm going to put population outside of
yeah,
Lebanon and see
Lebanese population outside of Lebanon. I think it's like 22 million or something, which is crazy. But all of those 22 million or however millions that there are outside of the Lebanon, I guarantee you would love to live in Lebanon. And there's a reason for that.
well,
You
this is
know,
an
that's
old estimate, but it says around 18 million.
there you go.
So
Yeah. So it's probably around 22 now.
probably. And this
Yeah.
was, yeah, because this was, I think this was written a few years ago.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's just sad, man. It's sad.
well, I know Beirut, not that I've been there, but everybody that's been there has, well, first of all, it's like, it's considered to have a very similar climate to LA.
Yeah, it stands on the same like longitude, latitude
Mm,
type of,
mm,
it's
right
it's the
there.
same yeah, it's the same distance from the equator.
Okay.
So
Oh, makes sense.
it's so weird because sometimes over here, and I talk to my family back home, like if it's super hot over here,
Uh huh.
it's super hot over there. If
Interesting.
it's raining like crazy, like the next day it'll be raining like crazy here. It's
Yeah.
just, and it's just actually not the US, just California itself.
Okay.
Yeah, because California, you know how California, you're like half an hour away from the beach,
Yeah.
half an hour away from the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
Same exact thing in
That's so
Lebanon.
weird.
So it's all coastal, and then during the day you could be at the beach, and then in the evening time you could be skiing,
Right.
which is just like here.
Yeah.
You know, you're like half an hour, 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes. You could be doing both. So it's very similar. The climate is very similar.
I told you last time we talked, which was a couple months ago, about I would do some research on Lebanon, and I haven't done that
Yeah.
because I need to know why Lebanon is in the position that it's in. Like why are they constantly having to fight for regime change? Why there's I mean, this has happened where they've locked down the banks and people don't have money. Their money's been devalued many
Yeah.
times,
Yeah.
um, and usually there is a lot of times it's because countries outside of that country want a regime change because they're not getting what they want from.
Out of it.
Yeah, so that's likely that's likely the reason why. Um, but we probably should do, everybody, even the people that listen to this should do as much research as they can to figure out, first of all, the person who is responsible for this supposed unsafe warehouse filled with
Oh,
explosives.
they've already see. They've already.
They've
That's what.
already taken care
Yeah,
of that.
they've already taken care of that. He's on house arrest. You know, and but it's too late now. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, but this wasn't to happen, Derek. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off,
No, no, it's all right.
but you know, the conspiracies are going to start now. There's not going to be any proof. Now it's already throwing all over social media that there was a missile that went into that warehouse, and then they got the remains. And I have the video. I'll show you. They
Oh,
have the
really?
remains of that missile, and it's written in Hebrew,
Wait, send it to me.
saying,
Do you have it on your phone? Can
yeah,
can you airdrop it to me?
yeah.
Because I'll put it up on the
They're
video.
saying that it's written in Hebrew, saying that Israel is the one that actually, you know, the conspiracies are going to start. I don't know if you guys are, probably you guys are not aware of this. Rafiq al Hariri is was one of the prime ministers in Lebanon around 20 years ago.
Did you
He got,
airdrop it to me, or would you?
no, I sent it to you on WhatsApp.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah,
Dude,
no.
what do you think this is, man?
Yeah, so he was a prime minister that he built like half of downtown, if not all of downtown Beirut, to rebuild after the war, and
Oh, okay.
he
So,
he got exploded in his car 20 years ago. Until now, they don't know who did it, and there's conspiracy after conspiracy after conspiracy, and that's the same thing that's going to happen with this. They're always going to have their conspiracies, and they're never going to find who did it or why they did it, and how it actually happened.
dude,
Sad,
this
and
video sucks.
yeah. What?
This video, like, what are we gonna do with this?
Oh
Okay.
well, yeah. Well, that's what I got, Derek. Sorry, it's not a great source, but I'm saying, that's those are the
No, this
things
is
that.
what happens because,
Yeah, and then
like,
and then they even interviewed a couple people, some women saying they saw the planes. They saw
okay,
planes
right.
coming over and drop a missile, and there's other
I
guys
mean,
saying
that's
there's like
possible.
voice
All
message
of those
going.
things are possible for
Yeah, yeah,
sure.
but
Yeah,
like in one of those videos, we would have seen a clear plane. You know what I'm saying?
totally. Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
there are so many angles you would have seen a plane.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it can't be a
Well,
invisible plane that came, but some people are saying, "Oh, I saw it," and where
yeah,
it like
yeah.
that's what
Where's
I'm
your,
saying. It's just going to be conspiracy after conspiracy.
yeah,
Sadly, conspiracy, just like what happened with Rafi al Hariri like 20 years ago. And the crazy thing is that he got blown up in his car right in front of like a hotel, and it was a
okay,
pretty big blast.
right,
It took out a lot of people.
yeah,
Only like 15, not even, maybe 5 miles away from where this explosion happened.
mm,
So it's
mm,
just like hit after hit after. It's like,
yeah.
dude, how much more the Lebanese people are gonna have to like take on them? There's just it's
So,
too much, dude.
so what's your thought on why there's constant unrest there?
It's politics again. I don't like to get too much
No,
into politics. However,
well, okay. So, how about you do this? Explain it to me in a way, in this way. So, don't give specific names,
yeah,
but you could say something like, if you think it's another country, just say there's another country
yeah,
that wants to destabilize Lebanon, and then I would like to know why they want to do that,
yeah. It's
or if there's a specific person, or if it's the U.S.
what
or
I think.
yeah,
What I think is
or how about
it's
don't
territory.
don't say that you think. Say that this is what people say.
This is what people say. Well,
Okay.
it is what people say.
Okay. Good.
There's a lot of different things,
Right.
but mainly what people say
Uh huh.
is that pretty much Israel,
Okay.
right, has been just like it took over Palestine, and a
Okay.
lot of people don't know about
Well,
that.
we don't know for sure if it's Israel, so we're thinking that there's a power, maybe Israel,
No, it's
maybe it's
Israel.
okay. All right.
No, I'm saying of what I'm about to talk right now
Okay.
is that
What people are saying,
Palestine used to be an independent state, right?
right?
Palestine.
Mm-hmm.
And through since the 40s until now, if you see it on the map, it just got smaller and smaller and
Right.
smaller.
I've seen that.
Pretty much what happened with the Indians here,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
They got constricted into a
Right.
smaller area until it just became,
Right.
the Indian, what do they call it?
Reservation.
Reservations,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
However, the Indians owned this whole land, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
So
were the
that they were
original
pushed
owners.
into
Yeah.
this small amount. Exactly what happened with Palestine,
Okay.
with Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Israel is just Israel. I'm just gonna.
Okay.
It's U.S. is the U.S. Israel is Israel.
Right.
Okay,
And remember, we started off the podcast with saying that it's fine.
it's fine.
This is
It is
it's
what it is.
all
It's a business.
it's business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's like
Israel.
it's like the mob.
I- it's like
Exactly.
yeah. So Palestine got smaller and Israel got bigger. Now
Okay.
it got bigger on the Lebanese border.
Oh.
So it's on the
okay.
Lebanese border.
Okay.
And for years, and when I lived there, I actually, because my dad is from the south of Lebanon, which is pretty much borderline Israel, well, Palestine, but let's say
Okay.
Israel, Lebanon. So we had to actually stand in line and cross the border to go into Lebanon from
Mm.
one side of Lebanon to other,
Mm.
because
There was a
they had
split.
occupied. They
Okay.
occupied some of south of Lebanon,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So they occupied south of Lebanon. If it wasn't for some
Who occupied Israel?
Israel, yeah,
Okay.
So when I was going from the south of Lebanon to another part of the south of Lebanon, there
Okay.
was a border.
Okay.
If you're not from that, if my dad was not from that city where we're going to, I'm
Mm.
not able to go there. Like I
Oh,
couldn't bring a friend or a cousin or something like that. So I
wow.
had to show my ID and I had to wait all day long in line to cross a border from South Lebanon to South Lebanon, right? Because Israel had occupied that
That
area.
so they had occupied like a slither of land in between those 2 points.
Yes. Now, if it
And
wasn't for
what was the point of that? They did that because they wanted to
because
separate.
they were scared that people from Lebanon, like the militant groups,
Okay.
which they call them the Hezbollah,
Mm-hmm.
would, the farther they are from the border and the harder it is to get for them to get to the border, right?
Oh, the less
The less
less
chance.
less.
It,
It's not as easy for
it's not
them
as
to
easy as it, yeah, but
assemble
they
and
were
put things
occupying,
together.
and if it wasn't for certain groups, right, they would have started occupying more and more of Lebanon.
Right.
Yeah, but because of certain groups, and that kind of like, you know slowed that down a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, but now what's going on in Lebanon is what they say is they're trying to get everybody's trying to de-weaponize certain groups and get into a revolution, because this is what the crazy thing was happening with the revolution that happened, is that for the first time in like 70, 80 years, is that because dude, Lebanon is just has a crazy history. It's so divided. You have like different 18 different sects of
Mm.
you have like the Christians have a hand in the government. The
Okay.
Sunni Muslims have a hand in the government, and the Shia Muslims have a hand in the government, and the Dirzi uh, Lebanese people. So they did the government in a way where like everyone has a hand in it.
Oh, I think I remember you saying that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
which so the president can only be like Christian.
Mm-hmm.
The vice president can only be Sunni, whatever. So each person has to be from a certain sect, so which divides everybody.
Totally.
Yeah, for the first time, that revolution kind of brought everybody in because they were just saying they want everybody out. They want to
Right.
get a brand new. They want to take out that whole thing, and they want a brand new regime. Let's say,
Hmm.
you know, for the first time ever. That's what was so great about the revolution.
I would be curious to know
But
why.
now, they want to divide people. So towards the end of that revolution, it started getting into a civil thing. You know, so people were trying to start to blame other people for what had happened, this and that. So toward the end of the revolution, it fell apart.
Right.
It fell apart, and it became again a whole, my sect did this and my sect did that, and I'm better than this. You know what I'm saying? So
I do. Yeah.
instead of because they were just coming all together, and then towards the end, it was like, oh, someone sends some other people to do something, and they blame it on this sect and then
Mm-hmm.
that sect, and it just fell apart.
Mm.
So now they want to de-weaponize Hezbollah, which is pretty much getting arms from Iran.
Okay.
This is what people are saying.
Right.
They're getting arms from Iran because they know how Iran and the US don't get along.
Right.
So they're getting arms from Iran, but a lot of Lebanese people want to de-arm them also.
Oh, they do.
Yes, because they want to take out this government, right? They're tired of it. Dude, they've been at war for 80 years. You know what I
Right.
mean? They're tired of this government. They want to get rid of that whole government, right?
Mm-hmm.
And have a greater power come and fund the country and rebuild the country. And what power is that?
Mm. U.S.
US, France,
Mm.
someone,
Right.
but the only way that someone, France or the US or any country, would come in and take over that government is if they know that there's no weapons of
Mm.
mass destruction, which they think that group, the Hezbollah group, has plenty of.
Weapons of mass destruction.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, here we go with probability and logic, and then we also go with.
And that's not, and for that, it's not probability. I mean, they're saying, and there's been a lot of proofs where,
I'm gonna get my face on screen saying.
no, that's what's been told, or just
Yeah. No, no. I
even
get.
weapons,
I get
not
the.
mass destruction, but let's say weapons.
Okay, they have weapons.
A lot of
I mean,
weapons.
there was
But
what.
no country is going to go into Lebanon and try to fix this issue if they know that there's a certain group that has a lot of weapon. Dude, their military group is greater than the Lebanese army.
Totally.
They're stronger than the Lebanese army.
Yeah.
They're the ones that fought against Israel when Israel was bombing when I was there
Mm-hmm.
in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If it wasn't for them, then dude, they were taking down cities. Israel was taking down cities. I'm not going to say um they started it out of nowhere. No, there was something that happened before. They had kidnapped a couple of their soldiers,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
but you don't take down cities for capturing a couple of soldiers. Am I right?
You would think not, but again, it goes against. You would think
Yeah.
logic would say
Yeah, I
something
mean they were
different,
they were
but
taking down cities, women and children, and doesn't matter,
right.
all kinds, and I'm talking about to the ground
Well, see,
for capturing two soldiers,
so this is why I
which
think.
were on Lebanese soil,
Right,
you
right,
know.
right. Well, this is why I think it's important to. This is why I wanted to talk to you about it because you've been to Lebanon. You spent time there, right? Uh, you have family there. You recognize what it's like to live there, what your family members are able to talk to you about, what it's like to live there. They also have a everybody is subjected to whatever the propaganda machine is within the country, outside the country, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, the machines even within this country, whatever the strongest machines are, is really what the narrative is going to be for everybody.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, but I think that just getting an idea of what you're hearing about inside the country, um, and then what you're hearing about outside the country, and then putting all that information together, and then doing some more research to figure out how to plug in the gaps. Because I think that's really where the problem lies. Is there's a lot of blanks.
There is, yeah.
We don't know the real answers, like, for instance, weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
There are no weapons of mass destruction in Lebanon. It's very unlikely. And if there were, we would have boots on the ground right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
because that would mean that those weapons of mass destruction could get into the hands of the Palestinians,
Yeah. Yeah.
which would then put Israel under threat, right? And we know that that's not going to happen. So
Well,
so you have to think about, like,
yeah.
logically, are there really weapons of mass destruction? No, there are not.
No.
It's impossible.
Well, everything is possible.
Yeah, but okay,
Dude,
so
what was that? What was that yesterday?
what the bomb?
Yeah.
That was a weapon of mass destruction.
Was it?
I think so.
So they have weapons of mass destruction.
Maybe they don't.
Maybe they do.
Maybe they don't.
Yeah.
Maybe they have maybe someone else.
I mean, it was rigged. It was definitely rigged. It just didn't pop off out of nowhere,
Totally.
right? I mean, even already 2,700 tons shouldn't have been there. We already established that, but a little sunlight or a little humidity wouldn't have lit that whole warehouse.
Well, I mean, that's
That's what they said at first. They said
yeah.
that a little bit of humidity and a little bit of sun could have, like, the crazy thing about that, and I don't want to go. I know we've been at it for a while.
I'm fine. No, I know you got
Yeah.
stuff to do.
Where it happened was at the port, right?
Okay.
There was a port
Oh, it happened at a port. Well, yeah, I
at a
guess I could
port.
see it though.
So you're talking about 180 degrees of damage, right?
Mhm.
Because it was right at a port. But if it wasn't like a little bit
City center.
inside,
Yeah.
dude, you would have had 360 degrees, because
Yeah, that's true.
on the whole other the whole 180 degrees on the other side
Yeah.
just went into the water. There was
Right.
no, there was actually some fishermen, and there's a video of it. He was like filming it from there.
Oh yeah, I saw that video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But he was far out.
yeah, he was far, but
Yeah.
towards the end, it got there. The
Yeah.
seismic waves got there,
Yeah.
which is crazy, But imagine it was somewhere else.
Yeah, that's true. If it had been in the city,
You would have had
twice
twice
the
the damage.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a huge damage times two. You're
Yeah.
talking about 2 miles times 2, 4 miles,
Yeah. Damn.
It's crazy, man.
So
I
I
mean-
think what we have to do is we have to revisit this in the future.
Yes.
I'll do
I'm
some.
sure there will be the conspiracies, and I'm sure there'll be new knowledge and new
Well, here's the thing about conspiracies. So whenever I talk about conspiracies, I will say I will use, if I don't have any proof, I will use the position of probability or logic. So logically, if there were weapons of mass destruction in Lebanon,
Uh-huh.
the probability of them being there and us not doing anything about it
It's
is
very
really
low.
low.
Yeah.
So because the sirens would be going off if we even thought that they had those weapons there,
Yeah.
right? But what they do is they tell the public that, so the public can allow whatever kind of control mechanisms we want to use to prevent the people from moving how they want to move. So I just think people need to start thinking like that.
But when you're saying, when you say conspiracy and probable and logic, okay,
Hmm.
but whenever, even when I say conspiracy,
Yeah,
not all conspiracies are just wrong theories.
totally.
One of those conspiracies got to be right, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
So
that's
I think a
true.
conspiracy doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, it's just an idea or an opinion. Yeah, it might be but if that's actually what happened, then it's not a conspiracy anything. It's the truth, right? If
Yeah,
that
if that's
conspiracy,
what
then
happened, it's
that's the
not a
truth.
conspiracy.
However,
It's not a theory.
it stays a conspiracy until proven otherwise
Yeah.
with proof, right? Which is, any conspiracy can be right,
Yeah, well, that's the
you know.
thing. I
So
mean,
when I say
ultimately, it's
conspiracy,
not
it's like,
conspiracy. It's the theory. That's the thing.
yeah,
And what you're saying is that if it turns out to be true, then it's not a theory. It's an
yeah,
actual.
it's,
It's
yeah,
a
it's the
fact.
reality,
Yeah.
it's the fact, yeah.
So
But it stays a conspiracy until
yeah.
it's actually, but like, it's like so many conspiracies, Anyway,
Well,
yeah,
that's
when we get off the mic, I'll remind you about this whole probable thing. And
well, the thing is about well, I would just end with this. So everybody, if you listen to this video, uh, we're going to have a part two, and in part two, both of us are gonna spend some time kind of researching what the reason why there's always uh,
unstableness.
instability in Lebanon, and why that is, and then what we really think happened with this explosion. And I think we should probably do that within a week so we can stay current. So we'll do, today is Wednesday, so we'll do next Wednesday if you can. We'll
I'm
talk about
down.
it again. Well, thank you,
Thank you, Derek.
Hamude.
Always a pleasure.
Yes, I appreciate you stopping by, and thanks
All
for
right.
lunch. In fact, I owe you for lunch, so we'll have to take care of that.
Don't worry about it.
All right, let me close this out.